Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We talk about real world topics in a simple way. Today we're diving into a word you've probably heard a lot on the news lately, especially when things aren't going well financially. The word is recession. We're going to be talking about what is a recession, why do they happen, and what do they mean for the everyday person like you and me. And we're going to be talking about how we can prepare for one. I'm also going to break it down in a way that's simple and easy to follow. No complicated words, just clear and simple facts. So let's get straight into the video. What is a recession? Let's start with the basics. A recession is a period when the economy is not doing so well. People are spending less money, businesses are making less profit, and jobs are harder to find. Economists usually define a recession as 2 quarters in a row. That's 6 months of negative economic growth. That means the economy is shrinking instead of growing. Imagine the economy like a big pizza that's getting smaller and smaller instead of bigger and bigger. With less to go around, everyone feels the pinch. There will be fewer jobs, lower wages, and less spending. This creates a chain reaction that affects almost everything. So, what happens to the economy during a recession? Well, a lot of things begin to change. One of the most obvious is rising unemployment. Companies start losing money, and to cut costs, they stop hiring or they lay off workers. At the same time, people start spending less. They might skip vacations, avoid eating out, or hold off on buying new things. And when people spend less money, businesses will make less money. It's like a loop that keeps feeding itself. Also, we have to take in the stock market for consideration. Stock market often reacts to this with fear and uncertainty. Stock prices fall because investors expect companies to make lower profits. That can cause people to panic sell their investments, which makes the market fall even more. Even if you're not into stocks or business, you can feel the effects of a recession. Groceries may cost more, you might hear about job cuts or notice fewer people shopping at the mall. So now you're at the stage where you're wondering to yourself, what causes a recession? And the truth is, there isn't just one cause. It can happen for lots of different reasons. One common cause is high interest rates. When central banks raise interest prices, borrowing money will become more expensive. That means fewer people will take out loans to buy homes, cars, or start a business. And when that happens, spending slows down. Another big cause is inflation. That's when prices for everyday things go up. When inflation gets too high, people can't afford as much and they start cutting back. Less demand means businesses lose money, and that can lead to a recession. Sometimes recessions happen because of external shocks, like a war, a natural disaster, or a pandemic, something that suddenly disturbs how the economy normally works. There are also financial crises, like what happened in 2008 when the banks made risky loans and the housing market crashed. That triggered a global recession. Let's look at some real life examples of a recession. The first one is the Great Recession of 2008. This was one of the worst in recent history. It was caused by a housing bubble that burst and it affected millions of people worldwide. Banks collapsed, people lost homes, and unemployment skyrocketed. It took years for the economy to recover. Another example is the COVID 19 recession in 2020. It was a different kind of crisis. The pandemic forced businesses to close, people to stay at home, and the global travel to stop. The result was a sharp economic slowdown. Even though government stepped in with support, the impact was still massive. Many businesses didn't survive and people lost jobs overnight. These examples show how different events can trigger recessions, but they all have one thing in common: they change the way people spend money. Let's talk about how long do recessions last. Recessions don't last forever. Some are short, just a few months. Others, like in the 2008 one, can last over a year or two. On average, recessions tend to last 10 to 18 months. But what really matters is how long it takes for the economy to fully recover, for jobs to come back, and for businesses to grow again, and for people to feel financially secure. Governments and central banks often step in to help by lowering interest rates, giving out stimulus payments, or launching programs to create jobs and encourage spending. So, what can you do if there's a recession? The first thing is don't panic. Recessions can be tough, but they're also temporary. The best thing you can do is prepare and be smart with your money. Try to save up an emergency fund. If you can, even a little goes a long way. Cutting back on unnecessary spending is a good idea too. Ask yourself, do I really need this right now? If you're working, focus on building skills that make you more valuable to your employer. The more skills you have, the harder it is to replace you. And if you invest in the stock market, remember this: markets go up and down, but over time, they usually recover. Some investors even see a recession as an opportunity to buy stocks while they're on sale, but only do this if you're thinking long term. Also, try to avoid taking on new debt if you don't have to. Having too much debt during a recession can make things more stressful to you. So, is a recession this bubble of bad that's just waiting to burst every time? Believe it or not, recessions aren't all bad. While they are definitely tough for many people, they can also help correct problems in the economy. For example, if prices have gone too high up, a recession can help bring them down. If businesses have been making risky decisions, a recession can be a wake up call. And sometimes new industries and innovations are born during a recession. After tough times, economies often come back stronger and more efficient. So, to wrap things up, a recession is when the economy slows down, people spend less money, and jobs are harder to find, and businesses face challenges. They can be caused by many things, and while they're never fun, they're normal and they're part of the economy cycle. The key is to understand what's happening, stay calm, and make smart choices. Knowledge is power, and just by watching this video, you're already ahead. Thanks so much for watching. If this video helped you understand what a recession is, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.